Okay, so that's about like week two that we're getting into, and last week we took something about the introduction to WordPress, and, oh sorry, introduction to blogging, and a little bit of the history of blogging, some concepts in blogging, and a number of stuff that you probably uh, also learned, yeah. And good ones to the ones who tried out the quiz and guess you guys are learning some stuff. So, first lecture this week will be on web hosting, and yeah, I think the topic is over there. So let me just get quickly on that. So web hosting literally speaks to all web files are hosted on the internet. And for some of you that are in the first class that we had as an IB in church, you probably remember some of the concepts I'll mention here. But I'll just try to reiterate them again. So web hosting basically is you making your files or your web files available on the internet. So before um, a site can be available on the internet, there are two things that must be in place. One is domain name registration, short for DNS, and web hosting. So domain name registration can be thought of your regional bound registration. It's probably you going to Lagos State government saying, okay, plot 5, say around a certain radius will be number 10 or street, something like that. So it's you speaking out to the internet that a certain location where files are hosted will be speaking to a certain domain name. There's a term called FQDN, fully qualified domain name, and you have domain name registrars online. So domain name registrars would assign a certain IP address and pass it to a domain name. So say for my website www.theobligato.com, when I register it with a certain web host called HostGator, they would pass the fully qualified domain name, which is www.theobligato.com, so a certain IP address. So basically saying that when users try to access that website, they should access it from a certain IP address. The concept of IP addressing, something beyond the scope of this lesson, but think of it as a certain address given to systems on a network. So in terms of networks, there are two types of network. You could have an intranet and the internet. The internet is the public net connectivity of all computers, while intranets are probably just restricted to internal networks. So due to the restriction or limitations of IP addressing, there are servers called public servers, which are publicly available on the internet. So basically what they do is a certain web host has a number of servers which are assigned public IP addresses on the internet. So when you choose to run a web hosting plan, you're basically saying that web host, can you give me a space on your server for which a certain fully qualified domain name or my DNS would be available on that server for. So it's almost like you developing your website locally on your system and getting a public IP address on your system. So it's basically saying I want people to be able to see my files regardless of where my computer is, because when your computer is not directly available for the public internet, people will be able to route you. So let me show you a little bit of what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to try to, there's a certain organization called Waze. Let me try to Google them up. Waze allows you to see what and what a site is about. So I'm going to use Waze to explain the concept of web hosting and domain administration. So I'm going to search for theobligato.com, which is my website. I'm just going to pull up details as regards the websites. So you see from here that the domain name is called theobligato.com and saying the registrar is launchpad.com. Somewhere here the restricted information, because there's a certain feature for web domains that restrict people from seeing the direct details available for the sites. It's called domain locking. So let me use this to search for house CCGMPS, which is a church website. So we can see, I think I did apply domain looking for church website. Let's see what we'd find there. Okay, let me see what we can get on while we're waiting for this to come up. Right, let me go to wiz.net again. Okay, that was fast, yeah, so I'll use this. Alright, good. House CCGMPS. Okay, it's checking.com, so I will try to. Now you would see saying that housecgmps.com is available because our website is housecgmps.org. Okay, I'm being struck by capture, which is a security feature. Okay, let me try again. So the website address I'm using is whois.net, and I will search for housecgmps.org. Okay, I don't know why it's bringing up this information, but let's try one more time. Else probably that will just become part of your assignments. So net, and we'll search for housecgmps.org. Alright, so 366 682. Okay, so that's it. Simdoors.net has an issue right now, so I'm going to do is ccgmps.org, and hopefully I'll find some results, or some people will probably look up IP address details. Let me see. And this is too strong for what I want, so let me do whois ccgmps.org. Okay, so let's use whois a domain tools. Good. So this is another probably provider that looks up people's information. So this is saying that the registrant is Olaimelatunji, and the email address link5005@gmail.com, /5 domains. So this is what I was talking about, the IP address, which is the public IP address from which this content is available. So when I do domain name registration, I'm saying that I want to register the domain ccgmps.org. I'm literally saying that I want to be able to access the contents of the website on this server. So the webhost guy knows whatever configurations it needs to do in the server to publicly segregate the files available for me, so that's available there. So that's pretty much like what you find in domain hosting, and I'm going to show you probably, let me see what else is there that's useful. So SEO score, okay, that's search engine optimization, which we're going to learn later on the course, and just stuff like that. Alright, so the number of domain web host service providers available. You probably just want to look at them up. One of them is called GoDaddy. There's one I use. This is not any way to market them. It's called HostGator. And let me just show you one typical step in which I would register a domain. So let me look at the links and see what I'll use for domain name registration. Let's see. So there's WordPress hosting, which I would not talk about right now. Or okay, let me just mention. So WordPress hosting, they offer a service where all your hosting is just your WordPress service. I'm still going into WordPress later on, so I'll skip that right now. So let's go to domains. So typically, Domain registrations are done annually, for which you renew every time, like every year. So at the anniversary of the expiration of the domain registration, you would need to contact the service provider and pay the annual renewal fee. So it's almost like saying, I still want my domain to be available on the internet. And some providers would apply a penalty if you wouldn't indicate earlier on that you wouldn't want your domain active anymore, or you default on payment and you have to get the access to your website afterwards. So say I want to search for a new domain called RCCG things, RCCG MPS things, and I'll check if it's available. So that's the fun thing about domain name registration. The moment one domain is taken, you cannot have it again. So I'm going to search for RCCGmpsthings.org and find out if it's available. So I'm going to search. So basically what this HostGator function would do is to search all through the internet and say, it will look up WAV services to find out if it's been assigned to anybody and any IP address. So right now you see that this is free, and that's the first part, which is registering the domain. But basically it's not enough to register the domain. You also need to find a web host, which is a public provider, which could be HostGator or GoDaddy, who would host all the development files that you have. Okay, so I'm going to quickly just log into my cPanel service. I've got a cPanel service, which is a service the HostGator gave me at the point when I paid for my web hosting service. So just for you to see something. Okay, I think that was the wrong password. Let's see. I think I'm entering the wrong. Okay, let me quickly move to something. I think. Okay, yeah, this is what I need. Alright. So good. So this is the backend of the web hosting service which I paid for, and I would going to just show you the domains I've been registered with this guy or with this company, and that would just be in that should be under this domain section. Just Accommodate, Facebook section services, SEO marketing tools, links, mails. Hi. So let's go to add-on domains and show you some of the domains that we have here. Good. So we have fep.com, econg, holatemewithme, housecgmps.org. All these domains are add-on domains to my root domain, which is theobligato.com, currently hosted here. So good. Some of you are wondering, okay, why do I have to go through all this stress? And when I just pay for, say, the WordPress hosting service that is hosted at wordpress.com. Yeah. So WordPress has this option for you to host your site, and you would see we have create a website here. I'm just going to run through that to show you where that happens. Create a website, and even though I was to come into this, but I just want to show you the web hosting plans that they have there. Okay. Choose theme. Okay, good. So you have this web hosting service, which is also example.com, for example, and it's paid for $18 a year. And why am I not doing this and going for this? So the difference between the web hosting service, which is WordPress hosting provided by the Automatic company, probably some of you got the answer right. So Automatic is the company who owns WordPress right here, and the difference between that and this old guy with all this gibberish is that all you get for a WordPress hosting service is just hosting a WordPress. So the web hosting service I currently enjoy from this service provider, HostGator, allows me to set up unlimited email account. So for that reason, let me switch to email so you see something. Have all these email addresses, unlimited for each of the domains and add-on domains. Add-on domains are domains which are linked to the default hosting plan. So, for example, RCCGMPS is an add-on domain to the obligato.com, which is the root domain for this hosting plan. So, I get unlimited email accounts. I also get webmail accesses for all of them, so they can view their emails via the web. I also get file manager services that gets access to all my files. I can create unlimited subdomains too, so I can have yemi.theobligato.com or photography.theobligato.com unlimited also, and a number of other pretty cool stuff which are not really in scope for of this. I can also install multiple applications with something called quick install, whereas for those who are hosting servers, all you get is just WordPress hosting. I'm not even sure you get like email services for it. Right, so that's like a quick rundown of WordPress, web hosting and domain administration. I think I'll post in some other resources for which you can learn more about IP addressing, web hosting, and and domain administration. So I'll post the next video very soon, and I think we're moving on to WordPress proper in our next lesson. Alright, thanks guys, bye.